My next guest is coming off his first UFC victory, getting that decision win over Kia Kamaka back on May 1st. It is downtown TJ Brown back here on the program. TJ, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm great. I just got up shortly a little bit ago, man. I'm doing great, but I've got a full belly, man, from last night. So eating good, living good. So life is good, man.
Well, you've intrigued me. What did you eat last night? It sounds delicious.
Dude, oh, man, what did I not eat is the question. You know, we went to just a local diner here with my family. I got chicken fried steak is what I got. Mashed potatoes, and we got bread pudding for dessert. And I ate a buttload of candy last night.
Good for you, man. Well, again, congrats on getting that first UFC victory. Just how do you feel, man? There's a lot of hard work put into this, including, switching camps, going to Glory MMA. Now that it's all said and done, how are you feeling about everything?
Man, I feel great. It's nice to see hard work pay off. You interviewed me before my fight. I put a lot of work in this last camp. A lot of changes that were really tough, for me as far as going over to Glory, being away from my son. But, it's nice to come home, look my son in the eyes and tell him, hey, man, it was all worth it. The hard work paid off. Look where we are now. So, man, it's just nice to see hard work pay off. I've always been driven and saying that, but sometimes you can work as hard as you can and it still not pay off, or just not pay off at the time you want it to. So it's just nice for things to finally, all pay off. And man, we're in such a good place. My family's in a good place. I'm just, I'm happy. I'm just content as can be right now, man.
And I almost didn't recognize you in the fight. You dyed your hair. What brought that on? I was curious.
I just wanted just to kind of mix it up, but two, just to kind of solidify like this new me, this 2.0, this, I knew I needed to make some changes. I knew I needed to, and this was just kind of just solidifying the change I made in this new beginning.
It was a close fight, no doubt about it. What surprised you, if anything, in the fight with Kaya in the matchup?
Well, it was a very close fight. Nothing but respect for him, man. He's super tough, dude. Oh my God, he's tough. If I could say anything surprising, I thought I would be able to break him in the third, but man, he was coming on. He kept coming strong, So props to him. Another thing that's probably is, man, I hit a takedown on him. I heard he had really good wrestling, so I was a bit intimidated on the wrestling. But man, I went in there and hit and shot and got the takedown I got was a little bit easier than I thought it would be, considering all of his wrestling background.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting as well. So we mentioned it there, close fight. I know social media it's all over the place, right? Because, there's people who bet on the fight and whatever. How are you dealing with that? Because I know his team is trying to appeal the decision. I'm sure there's a lot of angry people on social media who maybe bet on him and didn't get the result they wanted. You're a pretty positive guy, man. I think every interview you've done, you've always got a smile on your face no matter what the circumstance. How are you dealing with that?
Well, so at this point, his coach, Nick, has reached out to me and actually apologize for some of his actions. So at this point, I'd rather not just keep putting it in the air just because I'd rather it to die down, because honestly, man, this is my first UFC win. I worked my life for this, but rather than people talking about how well I performed and how much of a banger the fight was, they're talking about, all this controversy with his coach and the appeal. So I'd love to just let it die down. I was initially so upset with his coach's reactions, not shaking my hand and like being all upset. But he's furthermore went to apologize, and man, we're on better terms. I never had any bad thing to say about Kamaka. He's a super dog, and it was just nice for him to kind of reach out to me and apologize for his actions, because here's the deal. At the end of the day, man, not only as a fighter, but as a coach, we have to set a good example. And not only that, when you lose, in any sport, baseball, whatever sport, I can't tell. I don't want my son, if he gets struck out and maybe the ump made a bad call. The answer isn't to go yelling at the ump, blame the ump for everything. It's you want to go back and look and say, hey, what could I have done better up there batting? Could I have hit this ball? Could I practice harder so I didn't get that strike or foul before? And so for the fight, I would say, he should be looking back to see what Kai could have done better to finish me or could have done better. And that's how you address these problems. You don't go and blame everybody. You take responsibility for what happened, and you go back and you get better, So that's all I'd really like to say on that.
For sure. Yeah, I just wanted to, because again, it's kind of here you are getting your first UFC victory, and you've got all these other people sort of saying things. And by the way, it's not you who makes the decision, it's the judges. So if anyone wants to direct their anger, get it at the people who paid to do this, right? So it's that's it as well. Anyways, moving along from that, again, I don't know how banged up you are from the fight. When are you looking to get back in there as far as your next fight? I know it's only a couple days. I know you're enjoying the downtown TJ Brown victory tour, but when are you looking to get back in there?
I'd like to get back in there. I tell people all the time, I turned 31 May 1st, man. I want to stay busy right now. I want to be active. I've got dreams I want to chase after this, but now while the iron's hot, man, I want to try to make this run. I want to see how far I can really go. So to answer your question, I'd like to get some at the end of the summer, maybe early fall.
Excellent. Any opponents in mind, or you leave that up to your coaches and your management?
Yeah, me and my manager, James and Rolly, are all kind of looking right now to see if there's anybody we'd like to kind of pick out, and we feel like it's a good matchup. But I'm kind of just taking it easy myself right now.
Wanted to get your thoughts on a couple fights that are taking place this weekend. We've got the UFC card. Up a weight class from you, there's a really interesting lightweight fight between Diego Ferreiera and Gregor Gillespie. Right now on Fanduel, Gregor Gillespie the favorite at -170, Diego Ferreiera +138. Who do you think wins that one? It's kind of a close one with, Ferreira's pretty legit. Got the win over Anthony Pettis last year. And you've got Gillespie who's just got the one loss to Kevin Lee.
Yeah, I would go Gillespie, but, man, that's a super close fight.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Do you think, Gillespie will be able to get the takedown on a guy like Ferreiera who, trains at a great camp at Fortis where they're doing wrestling all the time, right? So
isn't that the question,
Yeah.
So, man, I think so, but we'll see, man. MMA is a crazy sport.
Certainly is. Another fight I wanted to ask you about, there's that Neal Magny and Geoff Neal fight, right? Geoff coming off the loss to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Neal Magny coming off that loss to Michael Chiesa. Geoff Neal, the favorite right now in FanDuel, -188. Neal Magny, the comeback, +152. Who do you like in that one? Do you think the favorite gets it done or the underdog?
I'm going favorite again, dude. I'm going favorite again.
Okay. Geoff Neal to get it done. There you go. And then just two more I wanted to ask you about. It looks like not the co-main event, but a really notable fight in the women's division. We've got Amanda Hebass taking on Angela Hill. Hebass -205, Hill +164. If you remember, Hebass losing to Michelle Rodriguez, Marina Rodriguez, in her last fight. And Angela Hill, obviously, sort of an up and down last couple fights. How do you look at that strawweight fight?
Man, that's a tough one for Angela Hill, but I'm a fan of her, man. I like her striking. Let's go Angela Hill.
Okay, and last one, the main event. They just announced it. At the time of recording this, I still don't know if it's 100% official, but it looks like it's going to happen. Marina Rodriguez, who I just spoke about there, who just beat Amanda Hebass, she's going to be taking on Michelle Waterson. Rodriguez, the favorite right now, -188. Waterson +152. It's at flyweight, too, so Waterson moving up a weight class. Rodriguez, I think, is probably going to take this one, but I'm curious your thoughts on this.
Ugh. Oh, man. I was hoping Waterson would come back with a little easier matchup than that, but man, that's going to be tough on her. So I'm going to go with the other girl.
Yeah, Marina Rodriguez, the favorite. I think so too. Just a little bit bigger. Waterson, very skilled, fought the who's who in that division, but you're moving up a weight class. Like Waterson, I think should be an atomweight. If they had the atomweight division, I think Waterson would do quite well there, right?
I agree 100%.
So we'll see what happens there. Before we go, two quick questions. Number one, have you talked to Bryce Mitchell since you got that win? And if so, what did he say to you?
Yeah, man, he's super pumped. He actually called a few things that happened in the fight. He was mentioning that, hey, man, he thought my wrestling was better than his. And I was worried about him actually doing wrestling back in the day. And man, I hit a good takedown. Another good advice he gave me was stick with the ones and twos. And man, my ones and twos were landing the most. So he's super proud of me, man. Super proud, super pumped, and he was like, man, you really deserve this. And I was like, heck yeah, dude. So, yeah, he's doing great, man, and that's about all I said.
And what's the plan for the rest of the week? We know you had some nice diner food last night, which sounds delicious. What else you got coming up this week as far as probably do a little bit of training, but probably still taking it easy and being a dad and all that other stuff, right?
right. So me and my son got a fishing trip planned.
Nice.
We're going to do a little fishing, man. I'm going to continue to eat as much as I can for next week. I'll probably blow up, but I'll get back after next week.
What's the heaviest you usually get to, like in between fights?
I'll never tell, dude.
It's probably something like, a couple weight classes up or something. So it's understandable. I like my food as well. So I don't blame you for that. TJ, congrats on the win, man. It was great to see all that hard work pay off. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
Right on, man. I just want to say thanks to everybody that has continued to follow me and stand behind me. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Downtown TJ Brown.